Other than that, voters are really encouraged to come out and enjoy the show. We're using a hashtag, hashtag Buffalo Thunder. If you can share your photos, we would greatly encourage and share your excitement with us with that hashtag. I'd like to introduce Mark Mistrada, the Western District Director of New York State Parks, to talk through the Buffalo Harbor State Parks.
Thank you, Lauren. Good morning. So while Buffalo Harbor State Park is not an official site, it is a state park and we will be open and therefore open for viewing. We wish Ben and our neighbors all the best this weekend. I think everyone will have a great time. What a great opportunity. And I'm blown away by the amount of detail and organization it takes. Thanks, Lauren.
Push this up. Keeps falling over.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a few things you should know. First and foremost, if you're thinking of going to the park, please download the New York State Parks Explorer app for updates. If you're thinking of going, we keep that current. If the lot's full, it'll tell you immediately, then you don't come down. So please look at the app for updates. The lots will open at 8 a.m. They're going to be first come, first served. Once they're full, they're full. We are charging $20 per car. Now, what's different is for Charlie's Boatyard area, they're going to be charging $40 per car. They have a business to run, so but that $40 could be used for food and beverage as a voucher. So please keep that in mind. The boat launch will be closed until after the show on Sunday. So the boat launch is closed all weekend. And the slip holders will either need ID or stickers for them to get to their slips. So please keep that in mind. And really, that's just about it for details. Again, I just want to wish everyone a great time. We're all excited about this. What a great opportunity. And thank you for your attention.
Okay, do you have any questions? Yeah, how concerned are you about the weather? I mean, there is some rain and possible...
So when I mentioned that brief earlier this morning at 9 o'clock, we go through all the scenarios. So short of a thunderstorm, there's really nothing that's going to stop a military aircraft from flying. We do have some civilian performers. So those aircraft are very high performance and they're a little more finicky to the rain. So they're going to make the call right when they're on stage time is. So if they're in the lineup, if they fall at 2 o'clock and they're supposed to take the stage and it's raining, they're not going to fly. But the military aircraft will. Tomorrow, the forecast and Sunday looks great. So we're expecting a full show.
Would fog scuttle a show?
I'm sorry?
Would fog scuttle a show?
It would. But hopefully at noon, the fog all burns off by morning.
If for some reason you guys did have to cancel, would there be full refunds issued to people? How would that be handled?
The refund policy is being handled by the Buffalo Waterfront Management Group, and I'm really not expert on that.
How good is it to be able to let some veterans see this today, see the preview? How important is that?
I think it's important. I mean, I'm obviously a military guy myself, and my family's all veterans, so for them to come out and see, a lot of these guys are going to come out and watch airplanes they either flew themselves or worked on. So I know someday when I'm retired, I would love to go do it.
I'm sorry, I'm still a little confused on the traffic stuff. Is the Skyway going to be closed then? Or
No, the Skyway will be open. The only exit off of the Skyway that will be closed will be that Outer Harbor Drive exit.
Sure. And then I noticed the no standing signs all along the parking spots. So if somebody gets off where they're supposed to, they can't sit there and be looky-loos, right? They can't park unless they have a ticket or something.
Correct. So Furman Boulevard will be closed from Ohio Street North. And our main event checkpoint will be at the corner of Ohio and Furman Boulevard. And at that point, your car will be checked for a ticket for the show.
Two of you mentioned it's a sellout. How many tickets did you sell?
We're expecting about 5,000 people a day.
Here,
yeah.
Yeah. Plus whatever you can jam into the park.
Exactly.
Do you have any, what should bikers and kayakers keep in mind as well? I know you mentioned boaters are welcome to watch.
Yep. So kayakers, again, so long as you have a safe place to launch, you're encouraged to view the show from the water. Bikers will be redirected at that Ohio Street closure as well.
Can someone ride a bike in?
No, the only ticketed guests will be allowed in past Furman Boulevard, past Ohio Street.
Walk in, nothing
No.
like that.
Mhm.
This may sound like a silly question, but there are some people that maybe have never gone to an air show. Beyond look up in the sky. You're a veteran of this. What would you say to someone about like how do I watch a show? What's one thing they should just remember so that they kind of get the whole experience?
Well, the beautiful thing about this thing is we have narration go along with it. So we have a whole team of sound production company. We have a narrator and announcer, and this guy's an aircraft expert. So he's gonna, every time you see an airplane behind you, they're either running script. So you're sitting there watching a show if it's your first time. You don't have to worry about saying what the heck is that thing because they're gonna explain it to you. They're gonna tell you the capabilities of the aircraft, what they're used for in combat versus in the civilian side of the world. So everything you're seeing if you're a first timer, we're gonna walk you through it.
How early are you going to open tomorrow? I'm one of those who bought a ticket for my vehicle. So how early can we come and,
9 o'clock.
I mean, maybe that's more.
So the ticketed guests are encouraged to come at 9 o'clock when our gates opened. The overflow lot, I believe, opens at 7 a.m. at Parks. 8 o'clock.
So 9 o'clock is
Yes.
when you officially open?
Yes.
And the show officially starts?
The show officially starts at exactly 12 noon to the second.
Can you give us an idea of how high they can go in terms of when the planes are coming in and what their altitude is?
Sure, so depending on what act is, for example, many of you saw yesterday in the Western New York community, the Blue Angels were out here practicing. So that first go, what we call the go, is from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Many of you saw the Blue Angels all over Western New York. That was a non-aerobatic practice. It's called a site survey. So all they were doing is they're out there looking for all the markers that we placed, that we agreed upon would be there for them, and then they were just making sure that all the landmarks were there. So for example, if they're coming from the south, they're looking for the marina down there to make sure they fly right over that, and then they change their eyesight to the fireboat. They're looking for that. So they did that, just looking for all the landmarks and artificial markers that we put out. So then they went back to the base, they landed, refueled, grabbed something to eat, they got rebriefed it, and got back in the jets, and you saw them again yesterday at 3 o'clock. From there, they did the full aerobatic performance, which you will see here in a little bit, and then again tomorrow and Sunday. So for the airspace, every aircraft is different. The Blue Angels use surface to 16,000 feet. Some of the aircraft will be at 1,000 feet all day, and the non-aerobatic aircraft will be. So long story short, we own surface to 16,000. Without ruining, it's not really a surprise, but my favorite thing in doing air shows and watching them is called the sneak pass. So right behind us, during the Blue Angels performance, you're going to see a F-18 Super Hornet doing near Mach 1 at about 20 feet off the water. So if you've never seen it before, it's pretty cool to YouTube it. We did it yesterday, and it will actually put a rooster tail of water shooting off the back of it because the thrust is hitting the water. That's how low he is. So, and he's also at about 600 miles an hour.
Ben, long-term future, is this going to be a site for future air shows, or do you think that this is just the 1 year that we're going to see something like this on the Outer Harbor?
All right, so great question. That's not up to me. We're going to sit down after the show's over, and there's quite a team to take this on, thanks to Lauren and her team. We're going to see if it's feasible to do in the future. If it's up to me, yes, but I don't get to make that call.
Do they do a lot of I know Cleveland has one that's on the water, I believe. Don't they do a lot of shows over the water like this?
That's a great point, and we said that in the first opener when we started advertising the shows could come to Buffalo. So I grew up here in Western New York. I think it's an awesome idea to do one down here. Maybe not every year. We still need to do it at the base as well. But we are the only large city on any of the Great Lakes I know of that don't have one. So every year Toronto does one, Labor Day weekend. Every year Cleveland, Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit. So yeah, we're finally added to the list, and I was pretty excited and proud of that one.
I don't want to belabor everybody, but can you talk about some of the other performers besides the Blue Angels?
Absolutely. So the surprise will be over here in about 6 minutes because the opener is, and we're super lucky to have this relationship with the Canadian government and the Canadian Air Force and military. The show opener will be the Canadian F-18 Hornet demonstration team. So he will come over here shortly, and he'll open the act, or the air show, excuse me. We also have the C-5, which is a highlight for me. It's the second largest aircraft in the world. The Russians have one that's about 2 feet bigger, and it's not too often you see something that big, that low, flying 1,000 feet right in front of your eyes. So The C5, we also have the C-17 TAC demonstration team, which is an incredible act because it's so large, so fast, so powerful, but yet so maneuverable for an airplane that big. And he's going to basically mimic what a fighter jet would do, but just a little bit slower and lumbering. Some of the civilian performers, we have 2 local Western New Yorkers, which I think is really cool. Louis Horschel owns a P-51 Mustang. He's from World War II. He'll be flying in the show, along with Rick Volker, another local from Western New York. He's a dentist during the day and an air show performer on the circuit in his spare time. Rob Holland is a 11-time world aerobatic champion. So this guy's as good as it gets. You're not going to find anyone that can do something with an airplane better than this guy. And then another one of my favorites, the Marine Corps Ospreys. If you've never seen that thing fly before, it's quite a mechanical feat. It's an aircraft that can do hover mode, fly like a helicopter, and then mid-flight right in front of us will turn into an airplane and head out of here. The Air Force's F-16 Viper demo team. So the F-16 is what the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds team flies. So he's coming here as a single ship. The airplane is really cool. It's painted up like a snake skin. He'll be flying here shortly as well.
Somebody want to grab their mics?
Like an Easter egg hunt.